Welcome to my channel Lakshmi. I am your Lakshmi. Today I came with a very important subject matter, that is process validation. So let's take a watch. Process validation. Before going to discussing about the process validation, so many documents and so many records will be involved in this process, in this program. So that first of all we have to know what is the difference between the document and record. So document means what? Documents means it is a document. It should be revisable as and when required. For example, an SOP or STP or unexecuted BPCR, everything. Likewise, the document should be revisable as and when whether you want to edit the document or draft, then it should be revisable by means of taking the change request. So it is by so called as the document. And the record. A record is an record. It should not be changed. It is an documented evidence. It is a written procedure. That means whether executed BPCR or the balance print or the chromatogram or etc. So likewise. So now you got the difference between the document and the record. So that before we are going to discussing about the validation, especially the process validation, first of all we have to know what is meant by the process validation. The process validation is nothing but it is a documented program that provides the high degree of the assurance that a specific process, method or system will consistently produce a result that results meeting the predetermined acceptance criteria. That means it should be a documented procedure. You are giving the high degree of assurance by means of the document program that whether the method or the system or the procedure, whatever you are using to validate the procedure to produce or to manufacture the product, that should be meet your predetermined specifications, whether it is yield or the analysis results, specification results, that should be predetermined specifications, already approved procedures. That should be meet by means of the product consistency. So actually what is the object of the process validation? Why we need to carry out the process validation? Why, if you didn't carry out the process validation, if you didn't take the process validation, what will happen? Even in the Indian local government or in the CGMP local or in local CGMP or local EU GMP or the regulatory authorized countries, they won't accept if your product not validated. Means the product process, not the product, the product process. That means the product should be validated by means of the using a method or the process or the system. So the process validation is nothing but the process which is used for the manufacturing of the product should be validated. After using of this method, the manufactured drug that has to be met the well established predetermined specifications, whether it is yield or analysis methods. So now you got the meaning and also validation procedure. So what is meant by the validation and what is the process validation? Process consistency, which is used for the manufacturing of your product. So in the process validation, main object is to provide the consistency of your process of the product. And then you may go for the which guideline supports the process validation. Process validation is guidelines. The proposed guideline should be the ISH Q7, ISH Q8, ISH QN, the ISH Q9 and Q10. And thereafter, not only the ISH, according to the US FDA, process validation general principles and practices is also the supporting guidelines. And also the WHO technical series number 937 and 2006. And also annexure 4 of the WHO technical. And also supplementary guidelines on the GMP validation. And also EU GMP guidelines and EU GMP guidelines and EU annexure. That means EU means European Union. So this is the process validation guidelines. And one more time again I am telling you, without guideline you can't do the any kind of the functional in your pharmaceutical organization. So again I am telling you, the process validation supporting guidelines is ISH Q7, Q8, Q9, Q10, US FDA process validation general principles and practices, and WHO technical series number 937 and 206, and WHO annexure 4 supplementary guidelines on GMP validation, and European Union annexure 4 to European Union GMP guidelines. This is the guidelines. And before you are going to discussing about the process validation complete information, first of all you have to know how many types of the process validation is there. The process validation are mainly is of classified into 4 types. As per the guideline I am telling you, according to the guideline I am telling you, you may go and refer anywhere. As per the guideline I am telling you, not for the based on any SOP from the any organization or according to my experience. I am telling you according to the guideline, because you are following the any procedure, any SOP, anything according to the guideline only. So these are the guidelines. According to these guidelines, the process validation is classified into prospective validation, concurrent validation, retrospective validation. You have to know after the validation what is meant by the critical quality attribute. Critical quality attribute means the physiological, chemical or micrological analysis of the document should provide the desired quality of the product to distribute the market. That means whether it is a chemical or physiological or the microbiological analysis if we carried out, that should be produce the desirable quality of the product to distribute inside the market or in local market area. So that this is the critical quality attribute. And the critical process parameter. Critical process parameter means this is the critical process parameter by means of satisfying the quality attribute, and this process where you are using the criticality, that means whether it is the temperature, vacuum, during that time you have to maintain the exactly whatever you have mentioned in the process validation protocol. If you didn't follow that criticality during the process validation, this parameter should be directly impact on the quality of the product. On the functional group formation and the optimization of the chemical reaction, whatever that you are going to preparing, that to drug functionality, functional group optimization and to managing make to tend to form the functional group, that should be directly impact by means of these critical process parameters. And thereafter you have to know what are the documents which are involved. The documents which are involved during the process validation is, first of all, current version of the all SOPs you have to be keep aside to perform the process validation. Quality management system procedures, that is the change request or the kappa or the deviations or OOS, except OOT, all the quality management system procedures has to be involved as a involved in the process validation procedure during the process validation. And also validation protocol. The validation protocols means this is an agreement between all the departments those are involved in the process validation. That means if you are going to performing the validation, which departments, those departments are involved, that is a mutual agreement between all the departments. That is why from each and every department, those departments involved in the process validation, that each and every department concerned HOD or designee will put the sign off in the respective process validation protocol. That is why this is a mutual agreement. This is by so called as mutual agreement. That is why this is the mutual agreement, so that it is a validation protocol is a mutual agreement of all the departments. Validation report. After preparation of the validation, after completion of the validation, the document, whatever the data you have received, whatever the data you have got after completion of the process validation, that data has to be executed in the document, that is by so called as the validation report. So we will discuss later what are the contents of the validation protocol and the validation report. Okay. Now next you may go for the department wise functions of the process validation. Actually department wise functions means the PPIC or the production. In some of the companies, for example the MNC companies are the topmost, in international companies are the topmost companies in India itself. The PPIC department is the major department. Without PPIC department you can't prepare the any kind of the drugs, because they are the initiators to prepare the drug. So let's go for see the functions of the department wise activities in the process validation. So you may go and see PPIC, it is responsible for the preparation of the validation protocol and validation BPCRs and the equipment cleaning records, and to report the discrepancies during the validation, that means deviation or utility or facility problems, and to execute the report, that means the validation report during the validation, after completion of the validation. These are the functions of the PPIC. And thereafter, in some of the companies there is no PPIC separately, so it should be also in the included part of the production, so that it is the PPIC or production. And then next, go for the QC. QC department has a major role. It should be responsible for the preparation of the all the stages or in process specifications and the STPs, and also to check all the instruments calibration and preventive maintenance status for the analysis of the products, and also the stability, that means whether to put the stability, whether it is the holding time stability for the intermediates or the normal stability for the dispatchable intermediates or the dispatchable products or the dosage forms. So that is the QC. And thereafter, engineering department is responsible to check the what equipments which are used in the manufacturing of the drugs. That equipment should be qualified and within the calibration and preventive maintenance schedule itself. So it is the activity of the engineering department. And thereafter, R&D department is responsible for to provide the technology, that means the process development report, manufacturing, that means the master MPCR, master production control record, technology transfer, all kinds of the analytical spec and STPs, including the in process also. And also they are the responsible to illustrate and tell the what are the critical process parameters, and what about why the critical process parameters involved in the during specific step. They have to give the explanation also for that. And thereafter, go for the warehouse. Warehouse is responsible for to provide the raw materials, whether it is key starting materials or non-key starting materials, that means the common raw materials or the general raw materials. And also they have to check whether key starting materials are from the approved vendor list or not, whether it is a qualified vendor or not. And then followed by the safety. Safety is responsible for the complete safety of the organization, and also even the from starting to completion of the validation. So that is the safety. And thereafter, quality assurance. So this is the supreme department in the throughout the pharmaceutical organization. So if you face any problems in the regulatory department or the product quality or anything, nobody can ask any department. First of all, they will approach the quality assurance only. And also quality assurance is responsible for the all kinds of the amendments or the documents or the records or the equipments which are available or not, and to approve the protocol, BPCRs, and also to monitor all the facilities and regarding equipment or the clean rooms. And finally, regulatory affairs. Before we are going to start the process validation, we have to take the regulatory concerns and also regulatory approvals and regulatory requirements to satisfy before going to process the process validation. Thereafter, we will go for, in the upcoming video, this is the overall documents and what is the requirements, and thereafter we will go for the how you are performing the process validation, and why you choose the what are the types of the process validation, how you can select the batch selection, and if the batch during the validation, if any batch failures, then what action you have to take, and what are the contents of the protocol, what are the requirements to fulfill before going to start the process validation, and also types of the process validation, whether cleaning or blending or drying. These all the these all the validation procedures, and also equipment to sampling procedures. Everything should be coming in the upcoming video. So thank you one and all. So if you like the video, please share, subscribe and like.